Hello everyone, welcome back to my Dark Forces series. I'm Professor Toybox, and today I've got Boba Fett with me, and I'm starting a brand new toy box for the third mission of the 1990s Star Wars Dark Forces game, which I'm recreating inside Disney Infinity 3.0. In the previous mission, we recovered a prototype Dark Trooper weapon from the ruins of TAC Base. The initials MR that Jan Ors finds on the gun barrel leads us to the Imperial weapons designer Moff Rebus, who's hiding out in the sewers beneath Anoat City. Before I show you my toy box, I want to play through Mission 3 in the original Dark Forces game so you can see what it is that I'm trying to build. Okay, here we are at the entrance to the Anoat City sewers. Moff Rebus has designed an elaborate series of drain gate switches to confuse intruders and prevent them from finding the route to his secret lab. This mission's probably going to be one of the most difficult ones to recreate in the toy box. First, you'll notice there's an orange sky. We don't have anything like that in Disney Infinity. Also, the wall textures, we don't have anything like those in Disney Infinity either. You're going to spend a lot of this level wading and swimming through sewage, and we're not going to have anything remotely like that either. So there's a lot that we're not going to be able to do. Anyway, so as we come into the level here, we got some probe droids in this little side area and some ammo back over here. We'll take the stairway down there in just a moment, but there's a little side area over here with an automatic elevator that takes us down there. And as we come through here, there's a whole bunch of goodies back in here, and interrogation droid hiding and waiting for us. There's a little grate here that looks out on the tunnel for one of the sewer tunnels that we'll visit a little later. Okay, I think I picked up everything back here I can pick up. So go ahead and head on out. And now we'll come down this little stairway, open the door, and that brings us out on this little island in the middle of this sewage pond. And as you can see, it doesn't really seem to go anywhere. The slimy wall texture here, we have nothing like that in Disney Infinity, so that's unfortunate. We also have nothing like this switch. As you flip this switch, there's 4 different positions on it in an off position. We don't really have anything like that, but I've got some ideas for that. Each of these settings opens up a door. One of the doors in the courtyard here, that one opened up that guy. So we have tunnel number 1 over there, tunnel number 2, tunnel 3 is over there, tunnel 4 is over there. And so we'll head through tunnel 2 first, just to give you an overview of what we've got. And we're swimming in sludge. That's something we're not going to be able to do inside Disney Infinity. The water textures are very limited, unfortunately. We got a sewer monster hiding down here. We don't have one of them in the toy box either that we're going to be able to do anything with. So this leads us to a closed door there, and if we hop over here into this little room, this window, whoa, looks out onto the central sewage tank, and trying to get that guy to come up a little higher so I can shoot him. Let me see if I can look down a little bit so we can get a good look. So there's 3, oh my, a bunch of these guys. There's 1. There we go. They shouldn't bother us anymore. So anyway, this central tank, there's 3 tunnels that lead out the opposite side. And there's a balcony over there, and a balcony to a room over there. And there's a switch in each of those. And so as you push the switch, that raises up the sewage level a little bit. This one opens the door here. And the tunnel we need is the top one there on the far end. So but we're not ready to go down that way yet, so we'll go out this direction where we came. And we'll head over here. Whoops. And flip the switch back over to tunnel number 1. The switches have to be flipped in a certain order. So as we go through here, tunnel number 1 should be the first one we take. And there's some thermal detonator grenades here that you don't really use in this level. And then a long sewage tunnel here. As you can see, we don't have anything like this flowing brown sewage texture. And this leads into this little waterfall area. I'm going to see if I can jump across to that ledge. Nope, didn't make it. So we have kind of this sewage waterfall here, and we don't have any way to do that either, unfortunately. This little lift over here takes us up to the first of the rooms that we need on the central side of the central sewage tank. That's the room we were just in over there. Oh, and I hate these little remotes like Luke fought. They're hard to see. There he is. They're more annoying than anything else, but there we go. Okay, so we flip this first switch, and you can see the water level rises, and now you can get through that tunnel over there, but we still can't get to that one. So we go back down the lift and down into the sewer. And it gets a little dark down here, so let me turn on my headlamp. And we got enemies, of course, lurking around. Let's see. There's our night vision goggles. And I want to try to get out of here because we got all kinds of enemies in here, and this is just going to waste time and ammo. Plus we got a ton of Dianogas lurking around. Those are the little sewage swamp monsters. And you can kind of get lost down here. It's such a big area. But this door is what we're looking for. And that leads us into this little room. Oh, another one of those pesky things. Fortunately, we don't have any of those in Disney Infinity. And we'll take the lift on up. And that opens up this area. Whoa! I'll turn off my goggles to save battery. So you come up that little lift. And that brings you out to this area overlooking the courtyard where we started. And we'll come across. Some fresh enemies are lurking around, so we got to be careful of them. Back to the switch, and now we'll go through tunnel 3. And this brings us into this little sewage area over here. And we flip this switch. That lowers the sewage level. And now we can get through a door that's over here. Oh. Annoying little swamp monsters. Ah! Where's my jump key? My goodness. These things are hard to hit. But anyway, we are once again outdoors. And just briefly, we head into this room. This takes us to the other side of the central sewage tank. Oh good, lots of guns, need those. And now that brings the water level all the way up, if you want to call that water. And then we come back down the stairs, and we come out through here. Now, except for that first tunnel that we went through, all of the... Oh my goodness, can I get over that? Yeah, there we go. All of the pathways will dump you down into this drainage pond over here. And it's just filled with all kinds of nasties, robots and swamp monsters. And what we need to do is get to this door over here and into this little chamber and hit the button. And the alarm goes off and the water level rises. And now we're being kicked down this long corridor, being flushed down this long corridor. Whoa. Kind of a wild ride. And this kicks us out into the sewage around the island where we started. And we turn that off. And then we can switch over to switch number 4's position. Oops, that's over here. And there's the room with all the ammo. Probably should have revisited that again. Oh, hey, here's a bunch of it over here. So this tunnel number 4, is not on the critical path. And if we follow that on down through, that will dump us out into that same drainage pond where we started. Since we don't need that, I won't take you down that way. And at this point, though, the water level's where we need it. So I'm going to switch this back to open door number 2. And we'll come through here now and make our way over to that tunnel that we couldn't get to before. Pick up all the ammo we can find because we're going to need it. And there's some hidden areas back through here. So there's a little room that's hidden back over this way with some goodies, health and shields. And there's another one over that way. That'll take us down to a little room, and there's a tunnel over here with an extra life, which is kind of nice. But both of those tunnels, that one we just came out of and this one, whoa, lead us into this room. And if we were playing on any other skill level than easy, there'd be a guy chucking grenades at us from that platform in the middle of the room up ahead. So hit the button, that brings us up to the top. And now we got to hippity hop across those platforms to get to where we need to go. And hope we don't fall in the drink. Ah, like I just did. Ah. I was trying to be too careful and not overshoot. The one danger of jumping in this game is that your momentum can carry you off the edge. Now there should be some bad guys waiting for us up over here. And they're going to try to knock us off this ledge. There we go. And so we need to get across over there There we go. Phew. That brings us into this room. Then we can open this door up. And this gets us into Moff Rebus's lab. And there's all kinds of little goodies waiting around and more of these annoying guys. Some weapons, some different things. And if we come back out over here, so that's the door we came in, that's the lab. There's this little hidden stairway back over here. We take that up, and now we got 2 more enemies to dispatch. And there's our target. So our mission objective is complete, and Kyle tells Jan that we've got the guy, and the mission's over. So as you can see, a lot of this is underground, which means it's covered by ceilings, and normally that would pose a problem with the Star Wars enemies because of the AI bug that causes them to teleport through the ceilings when they attempt to jump. However, most of the enemies in this level are droids that don't jump, so hopefully this won't be too big a problem this time around. So now that you've seen the original mission, we'll go and look at my toy box recreation of it. So here we are in my toy box for the Anoat City sewers. I've already done most of the build exercise offline, but I'll give you a good look at what I've got so far, and I'll also provide a diagram of the floor plan on my blog so you can build this on your own if you want. This is one of the most complicated toy box builds I've ever done. The original level map had so many little angles and stuff packed in it, as far as little rooms and tunnels and things, that it was very difficult to try to get the same sort of layout here. But I think it's pretty close to the original, and where I've deviated I'll show you. So for example, here we are in the starting courtyard, and one of the things I changed, because I don't have any angled textures that I liked for the walls, I went with a more natural look, and I'm using the desert texture from the Lone Ranger set for the ground and for the walls there. I've got the ghost over here that dropped me off, and some pipes I've set up over there that hopefully convey the sewage theme a little bit for this mission. And there's the porch with the staircase, and so we'll head on over here up the stairs, and this is all done with blocks out of the blocks drawer. And for the wall texture, I'm using the Endor hanger wall, and for the floor I'm using the Echo Base floor grate. And for the ceiling, I'm using the Geonosis Droid Factory floor grate for that. By the way, for the sky, I'm using the Radiator Springs Storm Sky. It's not orange, but I think it fits the theme here pretty well anyway. And as we come down the starting corridor, this is the little room on the side that had the probe droid and some goodies stashed over here. And these pipes that are running over here that take you out of the drainage pond that you get flushed through, that one and that one. For the blocks for that, I'm using the Tatooine brown metal tile. And in the original game, those sat 1 block lower than they do in my game. And I'll show you why that is in just a moment. But if we come up the stairs over here, this little block here that I'm standing on will be an elevator that I'm going to set up in another video. Kind of a pressure sensitive elevator, so when you step on the floor it'll raise up or down, and I think that's pretty cool and useful in a lot of scenarios, so I'll show you how to put that together. The original area back here, the corridor went off this way and then around, and I couldn't push this wall over any further because of what's on the other side of it, so I was kind of limited in this area. But I've got the same little room set up back here with some equipment, and I'll have some power-ups back here, and I've got some bars looking out on tunnel number 4 like the original game had. And so we'll go ahead and come on out of here. And by the way, for the music for this, I would recommend the Dune Sea of Tatooine, the Jawa Sandcrawler tune out of the Moody drawer, in the Moody category in the boombox. That seemed to work well. And as we come down here, this is the island that's in the middle, and those waterfalls there are the reason those pipes can't sit one block lower, because if those waterfalls sat one block lower, it would cause me problems the way I put this together. That block for the waterfall would actually bump up against this block over here, and it wouldn't let me put those in, so I'd either have no waterfall or I'd have a gap. And it's kind of hard to explain, but at any rate, I had to put those up one block higher than they were in the original game, but I don't think that's a real problem. For the island, instead of that 4-position switch, I've got buttons on each side of the little pillar here in the middle, and each of those will open one of the 4 gates and close the other 3. So this would be the gate for tunnel number 4, that's tunnel number 3, that's tunnel number 2, and of course tunnel number 1 is over there. And I'll try to follow the original mission walkthrough, so we'll come down tunnel 2 first, and there will be a gate here that you'll have to turn off in here and push the button to open, and this leads out into the central sewage tank, and there's 3 tunnels that lead out of there, and of course the one we need is the top one. The other 2 dump you into that drainage pond. And we'll go down tunnel number 1 next, just like we did in the original mission. And for this one, I don't have angled waterfalls, so I had to abbreviate the sewage waterfall that the original game had, and I just got 2 drops here. I don't have a narrow ledge I can put over there either, but I can jump over here and do the ledge hang bit around the edge. And that will take you over to the hidden ledge back here where I'll put a special move capsule or something. And then down here is the flooring. It's a little platform that's over here, and there will be an elevator you can step on that'll take you up there to that room that's just off the central sewage tank, with the first button that'll raise the sewage level there. And then you come and drop down into the cavern area down here. And I don't have all of the ceiling on for this yet, because it makes it easier to work down here. But anyway, I've got a lot of wide open area down here, and since we don't have Dianogas in the enemy list that we can put down here, the sewer monsters, I'm going to use the Venom Symbiote, the small little goopy ink looking thing that scoots around. I think that'll work pretty well. And the original game had an elevator here, which I thought was kind of weird because this should be an area where nobody is. So instead I just stuck a little ladder here. And this also helps because I'm running low on memory in this toy box. It's so big. And that brings us up to these little tunnels here. And I can hop up this ladder. That takes me outside where I've got another little tank there. And we come around the corner, and this leads us into the starting courtyard where the ship is parked. So that's very similar to the original. Kind of different, but that's probably the most different area of the whole map, I think. So we'll come back over here and return to that island. And I'll come over here and run down tunnel number 3 next. And for this one, the water level right now is down there, but once I connect that to a path and have that set up, you'll be able to run across it and through into that little room over there and push the button, and that'll drop the water level so you can get access to this door, which will take you up to the room on the other side of the central sewage tank, where that button will raise the water level some more. And then you evacuate going down this way, and this will dump you out into that drainage pond. And just like a lot of the other tunnels do in the original game, and you have to run over to this little room and open the door and come in here and push the button, and that will sound an alarm. And I'll do a video on how to do this, but it'll raise the floor, the water level, and then flush you out through this drainage pipe and on down this long pipe and around and out into the sewage around the island. So that'll be very similar to the original game. And right now I've got just this one little ceiling section on so you can see what it would look like. But I left the ceiling off of the whole thing for right now because that'll make it easier to hook that up. And once the water level in the central tank is up, you can head down this tunnel here, which will take you over to this little room here, which is very similar to the original game. There will be a platform here that you step on that will take you up to this ledge here, and those little tunnels have some side areas just like the original game did. And once you're up here, you'll hop across these platforms and come around the corner, and we'll have some grenade throwing guys over here, hopefully. We don't have the same enemy available in Disney Infinity, but I think we can use some of the thugs from the Force Awakens playset and put them in their place. But then you'll come up this way and up these stairs into Moff Rebus's lab, where I've got some equipment set up. And around this corner here is the staircase that leads you up to the room where Moff Rebus will be hiding. And that will be the mission. So I think this turned out pretty well. It doesn't look much like the original game visually. And again, we're kind of limited by all the textures that we are missing from the original game. But I think for a Disney Infinity map, this looks pretty good. And the layout for this is very similar to the original game, so it should play similarly to the original. And anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this first look at my Anoat City sewer toy box. You'll see more of it in the coming episodes as I work on some of the interactive sections. As I mentioned, I plan to do a few videos that show you how to use the Creativitoys to build the pressure-sensitive elevator platforms, like the one at the end of the first hallway over there, and the starting island with the controls that open and close the 4 doors, the central sewage tank and all the switches that raise the sewage level there, the drainage pond with the system that flushes you out through the long pipe and dumps you back at that starting island. And of course I'll do a video to show you where I do the enemy placements and what enemies I choose to use in here. Meanwhile, if you want to follow my progress, be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel or sign up on my blog. For those of you who want to build this new Star Wars adventure in your own toy box, you'll find the floor plans and logic diagrams on my blog to help you out. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.